We are back with another NBA game picks, November 9th, if I am correct, and assuming today's date because I am lost in a vortex of time. I kid. Honestly, my sense of humor is very lavish, I should say. Went 8-4, 8-3 last night. Much better than, not much better than what we thought. We were hoping 7-4, best case scenario, but we got it right. A couple of because we did pick a few upsets last night. Only one of them, like two of them, came to fruition. But we'll recap last night because we only got 5 games on today, and it won't take too long. You got Orlando beating Memphis. We got that right. We especially got Nikola being a big part of that, leading the Magic charge. We got Cleveland upsetting Washington, which if I was not led astray by some random guy on Twitter, I love saying that. They said, because I can't watch the game, or I couldn't watch that game due to um getting an injury checked out, but someone was telling me that the Cavalier guards were feasting on the Wizards, and it does look like they were. A combined 31 points, 13 to 30 shooting. That's not bad, not bad at all. Kevin Love had a good game, just like I said, 16 and 12. Thompson had 21 and 12 as well. So yeah, pretty solid game overall. We also had Indy beating Detroit, Sacramento beating Atlanta. Both of those were correct as well. Golden State losing to Minnesota despite D'Angelo Russell scoring 52 points. Andrew Wiggins had a good game in that one, I heard. And then you have Toronto at New Orleans. I picked New Orleans in an upset, and they lost. But sad thing is, Lowry and Ibaka were injured. I do not quite know the severity of those injuries as of right now, which is roughly 2:30 p.m. Eastern time of the day after. So I'll be waiting to get more confirmed news on that. Hopefully it's nothing too serious because Ibaka is a good bench presence for the Raptors, and Lowry obviously is one of the leaders. And then you had the Knicks at Dallas. I picked Dallas to win, but I also said that the Knicks are one of those teams where they're a collection of good players. Some some you might consider really good. I said RJ Barrett's one of those players. I've picked them before in quite a few games. They beat the Dallas Mavericks. It's only their second win of the season. But Marcus Morris again balled out, had 29 points. Portis balled out on the boards, which is his specialty, had 12 rebounds. Luka posted another triple double and shot 50%, which is damn good as well. So it was a good game overall. Knicks got a close upset, and that was actually quite wonderful. After getting the second win of the season, maybe they can turn this into some momentum. Get RJ Barrett some more action, get him some more experience winning, and get that feeling going. Could be good. And then you have Milwaukee at Utah. I picked Utah to win. I got that correct. I picked Bogdanovich to have a huge impact, and I was more correct than I could have ever been. Not only did Bogdanovich lead the Jazz in scoring last night, the exact number, where is it? The exact number last night for Bogdanovich was 33 points. 33 points on 9 of 19 shooting with 10 for 10 free throws. Now, Donovan Mitchell had 8 turnovers, so that's a concern, but Bogdanovich not only had 33 points, but he had the game-winning three-pointer at the buzzer. I said he'd have a big part in this win. I said he'd have a big game. I said he'd ball out and get the win for the Jazz, and he did. When I heard that, when I saw that, I was so happy, and it made me think that some of these predictions I've been coming out with this season, like not just picking games, because obviously 83 and 43 to me is a really good record. We're getting closer to that 66%. But it's not only that, it's that when we're predicting these games, even like the small niche players, for some reason, like I don't think I know everything about basketball. I don't claim to know everything about basketball. I'm still very nubile when it comes to basketball knowledge overall, mainly because I have a serious issue retaining information, especially quality information, I should say. So the amount of accurate predictions I've had this year when it comes to certain players in certain matchups kind of creeps me out a little bit, because to me it's just following my gut, but maybe there's something behind that. And it's fun. Then you got Philadelphia, Denver. I picked Philly to win. Key being Philadelphia had a 21-point lead in the fourth quarter and lost. I was so close to being 9-2 yesterday. And you may say, well, what's the difference between 9-2 and 8-3? 8-3, whatever. Well, 9-2, my record would be 66% because I would be 84-42. Now I'm not, which sucks. But it was a good game. Denver played well, and they needed a win like that. Then you got Brooklyn at Portland. Got that one right. Miami at Lakers. I got that one right as well. Now on to today's games. We have the Boston Celtics going to San Antonio take on the Spurs. The Pelicans taking on the Hornets in Charlotte. Golden State taking on the Thunder in OKC. Houston taking on Chicago Bulls in Chicago. And then you got Dallas taking on the Memphis Grizzlies in Memphis. My upset pick, I had to pick two of them because the spreads were awfully close, and I didn't really want to pick any of the other three games as upsets because I don't really see any of them happening. I think they're extremist matches right now, and I don't trust them. Yeah, Boston at San Antonio. San Antonio is currently favored by 1.5 points. I'm picking the Boston Celtics in the upset here. I think overall their chemistry is really good, and although San Antonio, and I've said this last year as well, is a very, very tough place to play, the Spurs inexplicably are much better at home, and it's honestly freaky. Borderline supernatural. But still, I'm picking the Boston Celtics over the Spurs. I think the Spurs will play well, but I think the key for the Celtics here, if I had to pick one, would be Tice, Daniel Tice. I think if he can block shots like he has been, if he can rebound like he has been, if he can get more involved in the paint, that's going to be huge. If he can get a double-double, that will be massive. And you get the New Orleans Pelicans picking on Charlotte. New Orleans is 1.5 point favorite, but I'm picking Charlotte in this one. I liked, honestly, what I saw in their matchup against the Celtics, although they lost by 21 points. Some of the younger players played hard, and Rozier had a very fucking bad night. I don't think Rozier is going to have a bad night like that every night. And New Orleans, who's coming off a back-to-back with a tough loss to Toronto, I think that's going to play a little bit of a factor here. Now, New Orleans overall, I honestly think is the better team. Ingram's obviously, I think, better than anybody the Hornets have. But I think Zeller is very serviceable. I think Marvin's very serviceable as well. And they're fresher than the New Orleans Pelicans coming off a back-to-back. So I'm confident in picking the Charlotte in the upset. Then you got Golden State at OKC. OKC is favored by 11.5. I'm going to pick them to win. Same kind of method goes here. Back-to-back for Golden State. Tough loss. Especially with D'Angelo scoring 52 points. That's a lot. I still think OKC wins. I like Steven Adams in this matchup. I think the key here, though, is going to be, can Chris Paul keep the team limiting turnovers and keeping D'Angelo Russell from scoring too much. Then you get Houston at Chicago. I'm picking Houston here. I could say the key here is James Harden, Russell Westbrook. Oh my god, that's so bold. That's so stunning. No, I think the key for this game is going to be Eric Gordon. If he can keep a shooting percentage over 45-50%, so that way if James Harden falls in a lull like he has been partially through the season, I think that's going to keep the team afloat enough to be able to exploit Chicago's weakness, which is offense. And yes, I said Chicago's weakness is offense. If I'm wrong about that, I apologize. So yeah, Eric Gordon, I think if he can shoot around 45-50%, Houston should win this one pretty easily. I had my headset on that I'm using currently on for maybe 5 minutes, and it's already trying to shut itself down. Damn. And then the last game, you have Dallas at Memphis. Dallas is currently favored by 4.5. I'm picking Dallas to win this one. It goes slightly against my method in not picking teams back to back, but both these teams played yesterday. Memphis played in Orlando and lost. Nikola Vucevic, as you can see there, had 16 rebounds. And honestly, I think Dallas is a little bit more athletic than Orlando. Better shooters than Orlando. They're 5-3. Memphis is currently 2-6. But I'm not going to take the 2-6 record and throw it against the Memphis Grizzlies. They're playing well. John Morant has played well. Overall, I think Luka is too much for anybody on the Grizzlies to overcome, at least this early. At least this early. Once the Grizzlies find their true identity, whether it be just give John Morant the ball, let him do some James Harden type shit, or whatever it is, I think there'll be a better matchup for the Mavericks, but I don't think that happens quite yet. So obviously picking Dallas. Hope you guys have a good day. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.